So in this video, I'm going to talk about why reading 3 books at once is changing my life. And in reality, I'm reading more than 3 books. I'm reading about I have like 5 to 10 books that I'm just sometimes piecing together on rotation, just um, going through over the week. So, but the reason I say 3 books is because right now I just got the imagery of 3 books, 2, 3, all open, and me reading through them and flipping through them. And this was an image from my higher self, and it came to me while I was just doing my workout. I was doing a yoga exercise, and the reason why it was those 3 books, it came very clear to me. The first book was about healing, holistic healing related to the body, being a healer, etc. The second book was related to calisthenics, working out, making muscle, and the third book was related to yoga. And now, this image came to me more as the books representing something figuratively. The healer, there's an actual book that I'm reading right now, and with the calisthenics book, there's an actual book I'm reading right now. The first book on healing is called Esoteric Healing. It's by Alice Bailey. The second book is called Overcoming Gravity, and that's by Stephen Lowe. And the third book is just a yoga book. And to me, I haven't bought any yoga books yet, but I'm thinking about purchasing a course on yoga. And I've been learning yoga from this one guy, Yoga with Tim. It's been super simple, super easy to get into, and it's transformed my relationship to my body already. Not that it's him specifically that transformed it. I think just the fact that I stuck to something, and it happened to be this guy. So yeah. So the thing that I'm seeing here though is that those 3 books lined up to form another book on top, and this book was a book that I was writing, and this is another figurative thing. I'm writing constantly. I'm constantly making videos. I'm constantly thinking of ideas, concepts, new things that I'm just coming up with on the daily. But this is kind of the process that I'm at now. People often like to focus on one book, finish it, and then move on to the next. But me, I don't read books for the sake of finishing them. I read books for the sake of writing my own book, or for the sake of synthesis, for the sake of me creating something entirely new. So the concepts in the book are there to help me create a new field of knowledge that is not directly connected to the book. Maybe the author wrote it for somebody else or for something specific, a specific target audience in mind. But me, I don't necessarily fit in that target audience perfectly. For example, with the book on calisthenics, the author might have written it for somebody who wants to be super in depth and wants to really leverage their body, really understand their body through calisthenics. But for me, it was more so I just want to have an expert that knows about calisthenics, and for me to understand where he's coming from and what his main principles are, and then connecting those main principles to the other principles that I have in these books. So I'm looking for universal truths around these 3 books, and that is changing the way I see things, because then it's the same concept presented differently, which is really a different concept altogether. But the moment that I'm able to connect these together, and they form one underlying concept, that's the moment that I have the material for my book, and also the material for just my transformation. And the reason this came to me while I was doing yoga was because I realized that what I'm doing is not yoga. I'm not doing yoga for the sake of yoga. I'm doing yoga as an explorative experience. It's like I'm going to school, and yet I have no reason as to why I'm going to school. I'm discovering that as I'm going. So for me, I'm doing yoga just because I like it, and then I'm allowing myself to open myself up to even more things. So then this has then led me to dance more. Like I'm finding connections between dance, calisthenics, healing, yoga, etc. And all of these things are feeding into each other, and so there's almost a parallel processing going on where when I learn to dance, I'm also improving in my calisthenics, and when I learn about healing, I'm also improving in my yoga practice. And the reason this is a completely different approach than what is commonly known, but it's definitely changed my life. I mean, I've been living like this for a long time now, where I just pick up books, um, looking for the universal principles, and I create my own content or my own philosophy, my own concepts that can serve individuals across different domains. Um, so it truly is changing my life, and with this specific example, it's changing my life in a way where I've given myself permission to explore the hobbies that I'm interested in. So I'm able to get into yoga, get into calisthenics, get into breakdancing, get into healing, without any expectation on exactly what that's supposed to look like. So do I know if I want to be a healer, or whether I want to put that as a big emphasis? I don't. Do I know whether I want to um, be this yoga master and just do these like crazy things that these yoga people are doing? I don't think so. I don't know yet. Do I want to be a professional breakdancer? I don't know. I don't. Like, all I know is that it's been in me. My body's been calling me to do it, and I want to do it. And the point is that I'm more free. I feel like a child. I feel much more fulfilled. I feel less pressure. Also, I'm healthier just by the byproduct of getting into these things, and it's really changing my outlook also on just my approach in general when it comes to anything. Like, is a job really a job, or is a job just another exploration? Right? Like, does it ever end? I don't think it ever does. I don't think life ever ends. I don't think there ever is a goal that is accomplished. I think that goals are just expressions of milestones that you've achieved, but the milestones weren't the end. The milestones were just a result. So, yeah, it really is changing my life, because it's also pushing me to change the way I perceive the things that I get into. Like, I remove so much of the weight on the things that I do, because my perspective is more so these are just expressions of who I am, rather than definitions of who I am. And it's a very different perspective when you start to see it that way. So for me, it's almost like the more I spread myself out, the more I can look at things with equanimity, basically seeing everything as equal value, not giving something more weight than the other thing. And so then when that happens, then everything is precious, everything is beautiful, everything is great. Um, you know, and that really changes your perspective, because you're able to see the greatness in the littlest of things, which gives you a vision which is much deeper than that of a regular individual who is so caught up in that thing. um, so what can you take from this? I think that, um, go with the flow. Like, if you're interested in something, pick it up, but don't box yourself in. Explore the feeling, not the result. Don't be constrained, or don't feel constrained to just reading one book at a time, to sequencing things. Like, be okay with picking one up and then dropping it and then going to the next and then going back to the other one. Like, whose timing are you on, right? Like, a man who lives on his own terms is a man that's truly free. And I realized that too, because I was even questioning, like, why am I doing yoga? Like, why am I breakdancing? Why am I doing this and that? What are these people gonna think on Instagram? Um, but then I realized, like, that's the point though. It's like, I just do it, and that's the point, really. Like, that I'm just doing it, and I'm a father, and I'm a husband, and I got a business, and I got a job, and all this and that, all this and that. Um, but yeah, I'm still doing it. It's like 10 p.m. and I'm finding the time to do this just cause. So, um, yeah, hopefully you found that helpful, and hopefully that gave you something to think about. I appreciate you tuning in. It's your boy. You already know. Stay lucid. Peace.